All right, hello once again. This is JPScott, formerly of Rankin Technical College. And what I started doing in my last lecture was I started to build a program to do a guessing game, my own program. Now, I haven't put that out yet, and it's going to be predicated on whether or not, how I start doing in here. So what I did was I've got my own guessing game here. And I wrote it based off of one that I'd already done that was working that I called GG for a guessing game. And it seemed yesterday to be working just fine. All right. And then all of a sudden it didn't work anymore. And I don't know why. So I'm trying to take and make lemonade out of lemons. So I've imported math, I've imported random. From random, I've imported the rand int. I've got these. This is always going to be the minimum number. If I go and play a game from 1 to 10, it'll be this one. From 1 to 100, it'll be this one. From 1 to 1,000, it'll be this one. I'm going to have different error messages like illegal guess, must be a number between 1 and 100, etc. Like you see in there. All right, so, and you can notice I got double quotes now. It really doesn't matter. Just be consistent whether you use single or double quotes. Same kind of rule I would tell people in JavaScript class. TGO, the guess of, like 30 was too high. The guess of 30 was too low. The guess of 30 was correct in 4 guesses, for example. And there's a please try again. So these are constants. Then I have 4 global variables in here. Number to guess, which is just that. It'll be a random number that gets created between 1 and 10 or 1 and 100 or 1 and 1,000. All right, guess is the actual guess. Total guesses is the total number of guesses made for this turn. I shouldn't even say this turn, I'll say for this game. And run again will be, do I want to run the program again when it's all done? All right, so the first thing I wanted to do is down at the bottom of the program, I wanted to come in here and call determine game to play. In other words, I want to determine whether I want to play, guess a number between 1 and 10, or 1 and 10, or 1 and 100, or 1 and 1,000. So I just have nothing but problems. So I put a print statement in here that says about to call set upper limit. And then I commented out the rest of this routine. So you can see if I run this, I do get about to call set upper limit. So that's working. All right. And what I'm going to do is put a bunch of these print statements in here. This is one way of debugging, probably not the best way. All right. So now I'm going to undo this. So max num equals set upper limit, but I'm going to comment out this. All right, so I'm going to put what am I doing here? Just do it like this. Okay, so I've got that in there now. And actually, I want to do it like this. There we go. Okay, so this is def upper limit. So I've got global number to guess, hello from set upper limit. I'm going to take the rest of this, the whole rest of this routine, whoops, and I'm going to comment out all of it. Just like that. Because I want to see now that I'm calling this if it says hello from set upper limit. Okay? I commented out that one, so let's see if I'm getting this. Hello from set upper limit. There it is. So I'm getting into this routine right here. All right? Now, instead of printing hello from set upper limit, let's print out the prompt and see if the prompt is working. So what that should print out is this. Enter number to guess, Then on the next line, 1 for random number between 1 and 10, 2 for random number between 1 and 100, 3 for random number between 1 and 1,000. Please enter a 1, 2, or 3 now. Okay, so that's what should come up. And it looks like it is. So that's good. So far, good. I'm getting into where I wanted to go. All right, I'm going to still keep this out because I want to start going in here. All right, now I've got here upper limit equals 0. All right, let me take this and undo this. All right, so let's come in here. I'm going to get rid of, for now, I'm going to get rid of these two lines. You'll see why in a minute. I'm going to reproduce this one. So let me come in here and comment this out. And then I'm going to move this over. So user input equals input prompt. So now it should be actually saying that. All right. And then I'm going to have this try in here. So I'm going to leave all of this in up to here. All right. So I've got all of this. But I'm going to take this if and this print, all this, I'm going to comment all of this out. Like that. Why? Because I want to be able to come in here and say that I've got this, the value of this is, all right, so the value of user input is, all right, so that's user input. Now that I'm looking at it, I think I know what the problem is, but that's fine. So let's go in here and do this. Let's save it and let's run it. All right, so it's saying please enter a 1, 2, or 3 now. Okay, I'll put in a 1. And it says the value of user input is 1. That's actually really good. If I run it again and put in a 2, the value of user input is a 2. That's good. If I put in a 3, the value of user input is a 3. That's good. I'm going to put in a 44. And it says invalid input, please enter a 1, 2, or 3 only. So that all appears to be working. All right. Everything that's there appears to be working. All right. So I want to do a match then on that user input. If it's a 1, the upper limit should be, and I'm not sure if this is going to go in as a string or as an integer. So we're going to do it like that. This is already working. All right. So I've got this. I'm going to say, I'm going to put a line here that says print upper limit. And I'm actually going to put that into each one of these. It's redundant, but that's okay. So file, save. Let's run this. All right, 1. The value of user input is 1. Now it's setting it, but for some reason it's either not getting into that, it's not getting into here, or something else is wrong. First of all, I want to be more consistent, so I'm going to make that user input here, which means I've got to change all the other ones, and that's okay. All right, so match user input. Let's try it as a string. All right, so file, save. We will come in here and let's clear this. All right, let's run it again. So I'm putting in a 1. All right, 10. That's perfect. That is what I'm supposed to be getting in there. Run it again. 200. That's correct. Run it again. 3. 1000. That is correct. Run it again with a 4. I should get an error then. Oops. Try to run it again. 4. So if I run it, put in a 4, invalid input. That's good. Perfect, in fact. So my upper limit now is being set. So that's good. Now I can leave these in if I want to, just comment them out, but that's fine. All right. So it's invalid. It should be recalling this. All right, so let's get rid of this. If the upper limit is greater than 0, then we're, so if it is, we're going to generate the random number. Okay, and let's print that random number. All right. Now, let's comment out this, and let's comment out this. I'm almost down to the bottom of this routine here. So, it doesn't like something here. The indentation is wrong, which is fine. In fact, I want the indentation to be here. I want to do this regardless. So if we've got an upper limit that's greater than 0, we're going to generate a random number. We're going to print it. So File, Save All. So let's enter a 1. It's not showing us that. 2. Oops. 2. Oh, it is giving us a random number. Okay. 3. Good. So that's all working. First time it gave me 10, but that was the number it was generating. So we've got all this. This I'm going to comment out. All right, now I'm going to say returning now upper limit equal, and then we're going to return the upper limit. All right, so let's try that again. Run this. 1. All right, returning now upper limit equal 10. Returning now upper limit equal 100. Returning now upper limit equal 1000. Those all should be correct. What I can do is I can come in here and print out the number. So I can say here random number generated was, and then just print out that number. All right, we're going to do that. So File, Save. 1. All right, returning now the random number generated was a 2. That is between 1 and 10. 2. Random number generated was 92. Returning now the upper limit is 100. 3. Oops. 3. Random number was 97. Returning now upper limit 1000. Now, right now, it appears as though everything is working. I'm going to comment this out because it's not fair to show the person the random number that was generated. So that should get me back up here. So we wanted max num, which, let's make that global. and we'll say here maximum number allowed this game. All right, and the run again equal true. That will allow us to let user run, play another game if desired. All right, okay. So this max num, I'm going to make this global. I don't think I need total guesses in here. I haven't made any guesses. So let's change this to max num. All right, and then let's make this max num. All right, and then let's make this max num, which means I'll also have to make this max num. All right, so this is going to get us into, and I'm going to have to, of course, uncomment this. Okay, so this will get us to play the game. So it looks as though this particular routine is working fine, set upper limit. So now in play the game, all right, in the last one we had number to guess, so that should be known, and max num should be known. So that'll have to be in here as well. This is what's being passed in. All right. Sorry, I just was doing this where sometimes I used it max num with a capital N and sometimes with a lowercase n because it was just dumb on my part. All right, so all I want to do as I come in here is I want to print the number to guess is. So let's have two prints in here. All right. So the number to guess, we'll here say here the maximum number is, and that'll be max num. That's all I want in here right now. That's all I want this to say. And we'll put a print, made it to function play the game. Okay, so I want to take all of this and comment out every bit of it. It's all right. So, okay. So again, file, save all. Let's come down and run the program. Put in a 1. All right, the number to guess is 8. The maximum number is 10. That looks good. 2. The number to guess is 63. The maximum number is 100. That's good. 3. The number to guess is 101. The maximum number is 1,000. That's good. And 4, which should be illegal. Invalid input. Perfect. So far everything is working. Now these I am going to leave in here, but I'm going to comment them out, just in case I have to come back and look at them again. All right, now this is what I think is wrong. Not while run again. No. This is while. So this is guess is what I want to check. So we want to make the guess here, which we have to validate. I don't know why I have this while run again in here. So I'm going to just take that line and I'm going to comment that out as well. Might have been what was goofing this up before. I don't know. All right, so I want to make a guess. And I want to validate it. And if it was valid, I want to add 1 to our total number of guesses. So let's comment out this. All right, so we're doing good. All right, so I want to come in here now and do my guess. So it should say enter a number between the minimum number and that max. So for example, 1 in 10 or 1 in 100 or whatever. All right. Then, if that number is not a number, or it's less than a minimum, or it's greater than the maximum that we're allowing, we should say invalid guess, tell them to enter another number, and really we should call this again. Like that. Let's see if that works, because if it is a valid guess, we should add 1 to our guesses. So I'll put a print here that says valid guess counter incremented. So like that. So file, save, let's run this. Okay, we'll put in a 1. Doesn't like something. 165. And 89. German game to play. $89. All right, it doesn't like this if max num greater than 0. Why wouldn't it like that? I don't know if it'll take not equal to 0 and try that. All right, enter a number between 1 and 10. I'm going to put in 1. Valid guess counter incremented. And I'm going to run it again. And I'm going to put in 23, which is invalid. Invalid guess, telling me to do it again. That's good. If I put in hello, invalid guess. It's not showing invalid guess, though. If I leave it blank. Okay. Well, I'm going to say while max num equal to nothing or that. I don't know if that'll fix it or not, but we're going to try it. That's guess. Well, guess is equal to nothing or is NaN. Make sure I'm doing the capitalization right in there. I think I'm importing math already. Let me double check. I am. All right. So let me do a file save again, run it again. Again, we'll leave it blank. And it says invalid input. But I don't know why it ran it that many times. Let's do this. All right, so leave it empty. Okay, it ran it through there twice. I'll have to double check on that. So let's put a 1. Enter a number between a 1 and none. Alrighty. That's all working. That's all working. We don't need any of this now. We can make a guess. When we validate it, what if we say this? If guess equal nothing, or basically this is saying that it's not numeric. If that's the case, I just want to call the routine again. So I want to do this. All right. All right. So if that's the case, we want to do this. We just want to print this. We don't want to say guess equal that. So if this is the case, we want to print invalid guess. Enter a number between, whatever, and then call play the game again. All right, so that's going to do the validation. So this will validate the guess for no input or non-numeric input. So if we get down to here, we should have a valid guess. But I'm going to add to this. So I've got this, or this, or the guess is less than the min number, or the guess is greater than max num. Any of those are true. Any of those are true. I'm going to print the message and call play the game again. So if I get down to here, it was valid. So I can increment my total guesses And now I can check this. If it was too low, I can come in here and print the guess of, and whatever the guess was too low, and tell it to play the game again. Otherwise, if it was too high, we say the guess of was too high, and we tell it to play the game again. Otherwise, we've said that it's correct. All right, so our number to guess can be set to 0. Our total guesses can be set to 0. And we can now call determine game to play. And actually, we don't want to do that. We want to call play game again. That's a lot to put in here, so let's comment this out. All right, and let's save it and see how close we are to getting this thing finished. All right, let's try to play a good game. 1, upper limit is 10. We'll guess 3. Son of a gun. 164, 90, and 130. That should be totally valid. Guess is input. All right. If int guess is later than else if int guess, those are all correct. Okay, so this is wrong. Or int guess, and that has to be int as well. All right. That was something. I got it in one guess. That's good, though. It looks like I played a game. So let's try 2. Too high. Too low. Too high. Too high. So that's 4 guesses. 5 guesses. 6 guesses. 7 guesses. I got it right in 8 guesses. That's correct. Let's try playing it one more time. Be a little harder. Okay, it looks like I was able to play 3 games. All right. Now, the only other thing I want to do then is, when this is the case, I do want to call play the game again. That should get me into here, and it should come up and say run the program again. Yes or no. And then it should uppercase whatever I put in there. Grab the first character and check, and if that first character is not a Y, it should stop. Otherwise, it should play another game. So let's see if indeed that works. Now, there still may be problems with the program, as I'm sure you probably know. And the problems will be in the error checking. So, looks like it ran this thing twice. That isn't good, but we'll have to look at that. So 1, put in a 4, too low, 6, too low, 8, too high, 7. Run the program again, yes. All right. Doesn't like this. Says there's no attribute to uppercase. Might have to say again equals this. Let's try that. All right, run it again, yes. Still doesn't like something in here. It's all on 146, which is weird. Play the game, doesn't like it. 151, play game again. And 156, which I think may be causing the other errors. Okay. Uppercase in Python. All right, let's try it like that. We're going to say here, so again is run program again. We'll call this yes, no, and we're going to say that's equal to again dot upper. Like that. First char will be yes, no dot char at. Okay, we'll try that. All right, so 1, 5, 6. Okay, we got it. We want to play again, yes. And it's still giving me problems, but now it's not giving me a problem. It's in the char at. I tried using a built-in JavaScript function, and it might not be available in here. How to get the first character of a string in Python. Lovely. We will use that one then. How to get the first character of a string in Python. All right. Looks like we might be able to do this. No char at. Like that. Play again, yes. So far, that looks good. All right, I'm going to pause for just a bit and come back and finish it. And after I finish it, I'm going to talk to you about this and go over every line of the programs. So hopefully it'll make some sense to you. All right, I took quite a break and I'm coming back right now. So what I have in here, and I've renamed some stuff. There's the working calculator that I did, which added a few things, such as some error handling. This was the first guessing game by Al Swigert. This was the second game by Al Swigert, and this is my guessing game. So what I'd like to do is literally just take about 10 minutes or so and go over the entire program. By no means is it perfect. I left some print statements in there so you could see what was happening as I was going along. All right, and I added some other stuff in there. So I went over already the scenario. Write a program that generates a random number between either 1 and 10, 1 and 100, or 1 and 1000, and asks the user to guess said number. All right. Again, this is what I came in. So the program generates the random number. I had constants that I called min guess, and then max guess easy, max guess med for medium, and max guess hard. All right. At the end of each iteration, I ask the user if they want to run the program again. And I've changed this. I added a thing in here. I went online and looked for it, so I'll show it to you in just a moment. But if you say no, not only does it end the game, but it clears the screen, which I thought was just a little bit neater thing to do. All right. I put in the code to clear all variables at the beginning of each program run. I put in the code to generate the random number from 1 to either 1 to 10 or 1 to 100 or 1 to 1000. Again, I used the constants. I put in the code that lets the user make a guess. I put in the code that determines the guess status, too high, too low. How about this? Invalid, too high, too low, or correct guess. And invalid means they put in nothing, or they put in something non-numeric, or they put in something, and let's put too low first. Or they put in a number less than 1, or depending on the situation, either they put in a number greater than 10, or a number greater than 100, or a number greater than 1000. All right? And that is what we have in here. So if a guess is non-numeric or out of range, the program should display all guesses must be numbers between 1 and 10, 100, or 1000. Please try again. And do not increment our total guess counter. All right. So I gave some examples in here. So if you guess 67 and you were trying to guess a number between 1 and 100, all right, it should say something like the guess of 67 is too low, all right, or it should say the guess of 67 is too high. Again, we should really put low first here. I think it reads better. Please try again. And again, do increment the total guesses. It's a valid guess. It just is wrong. If the guess is correct, the user should be given an associated message, like the guess of 67 and 4 guesses was correct. We again do increment the total number of guesses. All right. Again, as it says, the program should continue to solicit user guesses until the user correctly guesses the random number, and then print out the message, whatever message is the one shown above. Let the user continue to play the game as many times as they wish. I thought that was changed. Yeah, I like that better. Play the game as many times as she or he wishes, generating a new random number each time. All right, so the things that were discussed in here, I have several new imports. There is one from statement. All right, I did use the as. I think I did. In fact, I maybe didn't even use as in here. Nope. So I can get as out of here, but I'll leave it in there. Did if, did def for defining functions, did return, did prints, str, try except. Finally, there is a raise in here, which we'll look at in a minute. Use the global. So this is math, which allowed me to do a couple of the mathematical operations. This is OS, which allowed me to clear. This allowed me to do the random number. All right, and this allowed me to exit the program with something that's in there a little later. All right, so these are my imports and my from. Let's put the from. It doesn't really matter, but just because we can be alphabetized here, we'll do it like that. Here were the numeric constants. All right, min number always 1, max number easy is 10, max number med for medium is 100, max number hard is 1000. Probably would have been better in calling them like max number simple, max number hard, and max number something else, but something else. I'm going to leave it the way it is. Here are our string constants. These are used as part of error messages. All right, and hopefully they just make sense taking a look at them. I use double quotes in here. All right, and here are our global variables that I used. Okay, and I put comments in there so you knew what I was using them in conjunction with. All right, so this first one, determine which game to play. I probably don't even need this because that's all that this is doing. So the global variables in here are going to be the number to guess and the maximum number. And maximum number is going to be this. All right, there's number to guess. And I wanted to clear every time I started to run this. Okay? And it actually ended up being a little bit quirky doing this. Probably I should look at it some more, and I'll show you it in just a moment. All right, so the program starts by telling you to enter a number to guess, and then 1 for a random number of 1 to 10, 2 for a random number of 1 to 100, 3 for a random number of 1 to 1,000, then says guess now. All right, and this calls set upper limit. So after this line, it should jump down to here, which it does. And again, we've got number to guess, as we said, is global. I wanted to print the prompt. I was doing this when I was doing some debugging to make sure it was correct. Our upper limit is 0. Our user input is just input followed by the prompt. All right, so when you read that in, it's going to be ideally either a 1, 2, or 3, but since you're putting in something from the keyboard, it is a string. So if you put in the string 1, it's easy. The string 2, it's medium. The string 3, it's hard. Anything else, notice I'm automatically raising a value error. I'm using the raise in here along with the try and except. There is no finally in here. All right. So as it says, if the conversion fails, inform the user and prompt again. So we're giving them that error message, and we're calling set upper limit one more time. And I put another clear in here. Maybe I didn't need it. All right, because I am doing it up here, or maybe I didn't need it here. You can even try to take this one for now and comment that one out. Okay, we'll see if that works a little better. If the upper limit is greater than 0, that means I entered a 1, 2, or 3, then I want to generate a random number between 1 and 10, or 1 and 100, or 1 and 1,000. when I was first doing this, I put this in there. I printed out what the number was, and I printed out what the number was, so I didn't have to play the game, hundreds of times or whatever. All right. And I did this too to just double check my upper limit, and then I return the upper limit. So after I get done with set upper limit, I jump back to right here, which says if the maximum number was 0, all right, we have to determine the game to play. All right, which means I want to call this again. So I think I'm going to add this. If we put, if it was 0, whoopsie, try that again. All right, so I'm going to add it right here. And move this over. If you haven't already noticed, Python is really a language that is predicated on lining things up, and it uses tabs up the wazoo. So if the maximum number was 0, we call determine game to play again. In fact, we should do this. Should probably clear first and then call determine game to play. If we get down to here, we entered either a 1, 2, or 3, so we're calling play the game. And this is going to be play the game, and it's going to say either with a 10, 1 to 10, a 100, 1 to 100, or 1,000, 1 to 1,000. And when we get into here, then to play the game, it's not really that long. Again, we've got total guesses in here, and we've got number to guess in here. Those are going to be reset. All right, they're going to be incremented every time we make a guess. But once we figure out the correct number, we're going to reset total guesses to 0, and we're going to reset the number to guess. We're going to go and generate a new random number. In fact, we're not even doing, I think the number to guess, I think I'm just setting it, well, we'll see in a minute. Let's see. Yeah, we're just setting both those to 0, and we're calling play again, because play again will what are we calling here? We are calling play game again, and we call play game again. Then we're coming in here and we're asking, and if the user wants to play the game again, we're calling determine game to play. And when we call determine game to play, we are immediately, as we come through here, we're going to come in and when we get down into here, all right, again, when we go back from here and we go into set upper limit, just like before, we're going to come in, and if we put in something valid, we'll generate a new random number. Okay? So again, this is play the game. And my guess is going to say enter a number between either 1 and 10 or 1 and 100 or 1 and 1,000. Now I've got str in here a lot. Did I have to do that? No, I could have created a new variable and set it equal to that. It probably would have been cleaner, but I'm going to leave things the way they are. Then validate the guess, and I change this around a little bit. I said if there's nothing in the guess, or it's non-numeric, or it's less than 1, or it's greater than either 10 if it's 1 to 10, 100 if it's 1 to 100, or 1,000 if it's 1 to 1,000. We put invalid guess, and we tell them to enter a number again, and we call play the game all over again. All right? Otherwise, if we get down to here, as it says, the guess was valid, so we increment our total guesses. Now, there is no plus plus, I believe, in here like that. You can't do that in Python as you can in some other languages. All right, so I came in here then and did this. I could have just said total guesses equal total guesses plus 1 as well. All right, I had this in here to make sure it was working at the time. So if it's less, this is going to say TGO, the guess of, and then guess was too low, please try again. And we'll call play the game. Otherwise, if the guess was greater than the number, the guess of followed by the guess was too high. All right, please try again. Now this is interesting because I guess the guess actually is, when you make it, it is a string. All right. Otherwise, the guess of was correct, and we tell them how many guesses. Now, we're about to ask them if they want to play again, so we reset number to guess to 0. We reset total guesses to 0. We could have done it someplace else. I could have done it in here. You know, a lot of times when you do things, where you do them is just where you are more comfortable doing them. This is run again. So we ask the user if they want to run the program again. Yes, no equals again dot to upper. So if I typed in the word yes here, YES lowercase, it'll make it capital Y, capital E, capital S. This will grab just the first character. And if that first character is not a Y, we set run again to false. Didn't even have to do that. Clear the screen and exit the program. We said we don't want to play anymore. Otherwise, we again call determine game to play, and this determine game to play actually starts the program. All right, so let me do a file, save all, and I'm going to try to run it for you. Hopefully it'll run okay. All right, so let me clear this, and let's run it. All right, so notice enter number to guess. So if I hit enter, it says invalid input, and it asks me again. Now, when I put a 1 in here right now, it was clearing, and I'm not sure why it's doing that. All right, but it'll work now. That's the only glitch, so to speak, that I found right now in the program. So if I put a 1 in here, enter a number between 1 and 10, 5, too high, 3. All right, I got it in 2 guesses. Run the program again. I'm going to say yes, and notice, and now okay. So where I had that, where I was clearing the screen and I commented out, I think I need that right here. I'd rather put this in too many times than not enough times. All right. So let's run this again. All right. Again, entered the number to guess. If I put in a 1, it does that again. Like I said, I have to still fix that, but I'm not sure what the problem is. 5, too low, 7, too high, so it's 6. All right, I got it in 3 guesses. Run the program again. Yes, it should clear now. Doggone it. It was clearing before, and it's not right now. That's, oh. All right, let's try a 2. Number between 1 and 100, 50. 50 was too low, 75. It's too high, 67. It's too high, 60. It's too low, 64. It's too low, 66. Got it. Run the program again. Yes, and again, it should be clearing there, and it's not. Doggone it. A 3, 500. Too high, 250. Too low, 400. Too low, 444. Too high, 422. Too high, 411. And you'll notice here that says too high. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6. So this is my 7th guess here. So 403. Too low, 405. Too low, 409. Too high, 407. Too high, 406. Got it in 11 guesses. Now if I say I don't want to play the game again, so no, notice it clears. Now, the only thing I want, like I said, there is that one glitch, but I want to move on. I don't want to, hold back. So if somebody looks at this, figures out what my dumb error was, let me know. I'd appreciate it. All right. So this one here, OS system clear, should be working. But if we had an error, this is Here, if we had an error, please enter 1, 2, 3 only. Invalid inputs. So it should be doing this, but it doesn't seem like it's taking. And I'm not sure why. But really, this one that's here, determine game to play, this one is the one that should be running every time, and it's not. All right. Now, I did look on different ways to clear the screen, and that was the one I picked was sys.exit. All right. It looks like the exit and quit are built in. We don't have to import. If the shortcut, it is the shortcut for this. It's also used to terminate, but more friendly and preferred among coders. So let's change that one from sys.exit to exit. Okay, so we'll just change that to exit. Let's make sure we didn't break anything. Run it again. All right. And put in a 1 here. Like I said, it's still doing, oh, there, that worked. 5, yes. Do I want to do it again? No. So see, that's working. All right, so that's okay. But clearing, and I may have removed this. So let's see how to exit the program. How to get the first character of a string. That was is any, and that was old stuff. So exit and quit. Let's put Python clear screen between program runs. Okay, and this is the one I used. Top answer, os.system clear, and I did import OS. All right, you can see that that's the one Stack Overflow recommended too. Now there's this one. Maybe I should have looked at that. 5 ways to clear the screen. So there's probably more than one way of doing it. But what I am going to do, for now at least, is I'm done with this one. All right. And I am going to, just so you watch me here, I changed my first one. I'm going to see if I can change the name of my repo from keywords to Python keywords. I call this one Python Calculator 2 and Guessing Games. All right, so I'm going to come in here. I'm going to close this first of all. And I'm going to do a git bash here. I'm going to do a git init, a git add dot, a git commit, -m, Python, calculator, program with error handling, and 3 guessing games. Okay, that all looks good. I gotta grab the name of this, go out to GitHub, let's quickly make a repo by that name. Grab this line. Double check. Looks good. And finally, git push -u origin master. Most of you, if you are just creating your own repo, yours won't be master, it'll be main, but mine is old. So, all right, looks like it took that. So I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to refresh the screen. And there's that. So those are all there. Finally, the last thing I want to do is go to settings. Let's go back here. Let's go back to github.com. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to type in keywords. There it is, keywords. Now I want to go to settings see if I can rename this repository name. So I want to rename it to Python keywords. Rename. All right, so it is now Python keywords. So if you go out and look for it, that's what you're going to have to look for. So with what I have done so far with these programs, I'll just quickly show you this and then I'm finished. We've got this. Let me make that a little bit smaller. We've got this. That was the first one I made, and then the one I just made. All right, which has in there probably too big for where I want to put it, but that's okay. Yep. All right, so we've got so far under github.com JPScott Rankin, we've got Python keywords, and we've got Python Calculator 2 and guessing games. All right, when I come back, which will be either tomorrow or on the weekend, I'm going to create 2 more programs for now, and they will eventually be called, I haven't done them yet. All right, they'll be called Python BMI and Payroll. Okay, that's what I'll be working on next. I'll see you later.